Engine 11, Engine 4, Truck 11 turning to a brush fire threatening 3 to 4 structures. McCarran and 7th are your cross, no further on the access. District 8, map page Edward 05 southeast on Gold frequency. McCarran and 7th are your cross, no further on the best access for this location. Gold frequency.
Even under the best of circumstances, our climate here in northern Nevada is extremely dry, and wildland fires are always in imminent danger. When we have exceptionally dry weather, however, the problem is even greater. It can take next to nothing to start a raging, fast-moving fire. A carelessly discarded cigarette, a spark from construction equipment, or a curious child can change the landscape in an instant. Traditionally, wildland fires are thought of as a rural problem, and considerations such as defensible space applied only to those who live on the fringes of the city. Even within the city, however, are numerous areas of undeveloped land scattered throughout residential developments. In many cases, the reason these pockets of land are not developed is because they include ravines or steep slopes, features that are not well suited to development, but lend themselves perfectly to fast-moving fires. In this program, we will study 3 recent fires within the Reno area that demonstrate just how fast a wildland fire can attack nearby structures, and steps homeowners can take to reduce their exposure. The purpose of this presentation is to give a general idea of the dangers of wildfire. For more detailed information and suggestions about defensible space, the Reno Fire Department recommends the website www.livingwithfire.info, or you can pick up a Living with Fire publication at the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension Office, or contact your local fire department. The first fire we'll look at is the Ridgeview Fire from July 28, 2004.
Here, I'm recording. It started in the sagebrush. Oh man, I hope there ain't people in that fire.
There were a number of contributing factors on the Ridgeview Fire. First, of course, the fact that children were playing with fireworks at the bottom of the hill. Fireworks that are illegal in the state of Nevada. Second, a steep slope leading up to nearby homes. Fire burns much more quickly as it moves up a slope, as it preheats and dries out the vegetation on the uphill side. Third, the fact that the slope was covered with dry vegetation. And fourth, the fact that the homes above did not have adequate defensible space. Generally, we speak in terms of 30 feet as being an adequate defensible space. But that's on level ground. Houses located on a steep slope may need as much as 100 or even 200 feet of defensible space, depending on how steep the slope is and what type of vegetation is involved. At this point, we can observe a great example of how fast fire can travel up a hill. As one house burns and ignites the one next to it, a new branch of the fire starts up the hill on the left side. Observe how quickly this new branch of fire makes its way up the hill and ignites a third house.
Up the hill, uh-oh. It's gonna get a third house now. We've got a third and a fourth house possibly going up now. Unbelievable.
In real time, it took just over 2 minutes for flames starting at the bottom of the hill to ignite the home at the top of the hill. Now a third house is fully involved. The second fire we'll look at is the Heights Fire from March 17, 2007.
Battalion 1 Rescue 1 Engine 8, Engine 11, Engine 4, Truck 11 turning to a brush fire threatening 3 to 4 structures. McCarran and 7th are your cross, no further on the access. District 8, map page Edward 05 southeast on Gold frequency. McCarran and 7th are your cross, no further on the best access for this location. Gold frequency.
Some factors that contributed to the Heights fire were juvenile playing with fire, dry vegetation, uphill slope, inadequate defensible space, and flammable ornamental vegetation too close to structures.
We need to see if you can bust engine 10 loose. We got a problem just east to us here.
This aerial view with an infrared camera shows just how many hot spots exist that are not visible to the naked eye.
Best access is off of Heights. We're going to have an immediate need for water supply.
Firebrands carried along by high winds have been known to ignite combustible material as much as half a mile ahead of a fire.
If you guys can come up to 3297, that's 3297, right by engine 4, we have an attic fire in the structure next door.
The Heights fire in northwest Reno completely destroyed one home and damaged numerous other homes and structures. Just 9 days after the Heights fire, another fire a few miles to the south would destroy another home and damage many others. The Solari Drive fire began when high winds knocked down a power line, igniting a fire at the bottom of Rosewood Canyon. Within 2 minutes, the fire raced up the canyon and ignited a home on Solari Drive. Although the source of ignition may have differed from the other fires, many of the contributing factors were the same. The fire was ignited when high winds downed a power line. High gusting winds also contributed to the rapid spread of the fire. Once again, abnormally dry conditions for the time of year also contributed greatly to the rapid spread of the fire. Once again, the steep slope of the canyon allowed the fire to travel much more quickly than it would on level ground. Inadequate defensible space was once again an issue as well. In all three fires, firefighters noted that homeowners had thrown dry grass and other dead vegetation from within their yard over their rear fences and into the adjacent wildland. And a final factor that contributed to the loss of one home was the fact that the home had a wood shake roof and wood shake siding. Houses adjacent to wildland areas are much more likely to survive a wildland fire if they are built with less combustible materials, such as composition or tile roofing. As residential areas extend beyond the boundaries of the valley, the only place to go is up, into the hills. As this happens, more and more homeowners will have to confront the reality of wildfire. The Reno Fire Department will always do its very best to protect homes when they are threatened by wildfire. But we can do an even better job if homeowners work with us to make their homes as fire safe as possible before wildfire has a chance to strike. Once again, the purpose of this presentation is to give a general idea of the dangers of wildfire. For more detailed information and suggestions about defensible space, the Reno Fire Department recommends the website www.livingwithfire.info or contact your local fire department.